Salutations everybody, Senor Alex Fuel here, back again for another banger episode of the Storyfuel Podcast, where every story matters. And in today's video and in also today's stream, which is live broadcasted over on Twitch, which you can find at twitch.tv/Storyfuel Podcast. I'll leave all of the links to everything I talk about in the description down below, so you can go ahead and check them out. Let's go ahead and talk about some very good news or a very good topic in general, because we're going to talk about the Pokemon today. Yes, you heard me right, Pokemon. One of, if not my favorite animated series of all time. It is a series that is timeless. It is a timeless hood classic, or not necessarily hood classic, but is a timeless classic regardless. And we're going to talk about it right here on this very show, on this very podcast. So let's go ahead and switch over to this very cool transition, and we're gonna go ahead and begin this thing. Yes, we're still using PowerPoint. Yes, I'm still using a product of a bygone era, but I don't give a damn. I like this program, and we're going to talk about what made a show special. And this time we're going to talk about Pokemon the series. I'm more specifically talking about the animated side of the series, and not necessarily the game side or the merchandise side. We're going to talk about the animated side of the series, or of the franchise known as Pokemon. Obviously, we all know how popular Pokemon is. If you look at Nintendo and or Game Freak, because this is the biggest intellectual property of all time when it comes to animation, when it comes to Japanese animation, or anime as it is called. So let's go ahead and dive right in. But first, for anyone new here to the series, let's go ahead and define the concept of peak. Peak, according to the dictionary, says reach a highest point either of a specified value or at a specified time. But in media, more specifically in animated media, peak refers to a specific show, movie, anime, or cartoon that is so good you just cannot ignore it. And that is essentially what peak is. Peak is essentially you are watching something that is so good you just cannot ignore it. You just have to get glued to the screen to know what the hell is going on, because the characters and all of that. It is also known as a timeless classic, a show that stands the test of time, and it is going to be talked about for many, many years, months, days, decades to come. And that's essentially what we got here with Pokemon. Other words for the word of peak, we have apex, zenith, highest echelon, or climax. So that's essentially what peak is. Peak is essentially the apex, the highest form of something, and you have to respect it. You have to acknowledge the fact that when a show is that good in its writing, in its presentation, you have to acknowledge it, and you have to respect it, and you have to love it. And that's why Pokemon has been a long-standing English animated series for quite some time now. The original Pokemon, Pokemon the Indigo League, actually premiered 1999, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a long time ago, and it is still pretty popular to this day with the release of Pokemon Horizons, which we are going to talk about in a bit. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about, obviously, the main discussion and main topic at hand, Pokemon the animated series. And yes, I am going to emphasize the word animated in parentheses because Pokemon in general has so many different variants. Like you have Pokemon merchandise, you have the cards, you have the video games inspired by the series of Pokemon, but we're going to specifically talk about the animated series of Pokemon. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Pokemon the animated series is one of the most recognizable intellectual properties of all time. And also, it is in my opinion the best anime franchise of all time. So many fond memories were crafted by this series, which I have to agree with because of the fact that it is a long-standing series. I mean, why else would we have so many different anime iterations at this point ever since the inception of Pokemon back in 1999 if the series didn't get popular not only in Japan but also in the West, aka the United States, and as well here in the East, in Asia. Not only in Japan but also in other countries like where I live right now in the Philippines. The series is split into multiple eras, including eras, meaning you have different iterations of the what do you call it, of the timeline wherein Pokemon has changed, adapted, evolved, like Pokemon, obviously over the decades, over the years, and it is still pretty good for what they came up with. So let's break it all down, shall we? Chat. I need you to listen up because this is going to be a long video, a long stream, and I need you guys to be locked into this thing. So let's go ahead and break it all down. The series is split up into multiple eras, which include number 1, the original era. Original era pertains to the era wherein Ash started his journey from the bottom and then going up the ranks slowly but surely in the Kanto and the Johto regions, and that spanned 5 series, which included the original Indigo League, then transferred into the Orange Islands. Obviously, so many different revolving characters at this time. You have, in the beginning, the series started with Ash, then we had Brock, Misty, and also you had Team Rocket, the introduction of Team Rocket during Indigo League. Excuse me. Team Rocket, for those of you who don't know, is the trio of Jesse, James, and Meowth, with the introduction of Wobbuffet in the Johto series, starting with Johto Journeys. They became a quadruple, a quad-based people. Four characters included already in the group. Team Rocket, But you also have a splinter group of Team Rocket that we saw in believe Johto Journeys as well. We get the arrival of Cassidy and Biff, or should I say Cassidy and Butch, which came off the splinter group of Team Rocket under the direction and jurisdiction of scientist and Professor Namba, which debuted in the Johto series as well, more specifically Master Quest. So yeah, the original era spanned the Indigo League, the Orange Islands, the Johto Journeys, the Johto League Champions, and Master Quest, which comprised seasons 1 through 5 of the anime. Indigo League, obviously, Ash traverses the Kanto region, taking on the gym leaders, eventually befriending 2 of the gym leaders, Brock and Misty, then defeating the other gym leaders, while also taking on some challenges along the way. Orange Islands is when Brock takes his leave from the series and is replaced by Tracy, and Misty stays along for the ride with Ash as they take on the Orange Islands, take on the Orange League, wherein Ash actually won this one, which is actually insane. Then we have Johto Journeys. Obviously, Johto Journeys takes place, surprise, in the Johto region, wherein during the end of Orange Islands, Ash and his rival Gary Oak, by the way, the grandson of Professor Samuel Oak, they basically renewed their rivalry during this era, or during this series, the Orange Islands, then continued into the Johto Saga, Johto Journeys, Johto League Champions, and wherein Gary was defeated by Ash in Master Quest, the 5th season of the anime, so keep that in mind. And then after what happened in Master Quest, Brock and Misty left the series. Misty left to pursue her occupation as the Cerulean City gym leader, and Brock returns to his family after the end of the Johto League Silver Conference. And then after that, Ash sets off the end of Master Quest. Actually, Ash sets off from his hometown of Pallet Town into the Johto region, or the Holland region rather, actually, via a ferry, a big boat essentially, to head from Johto, or from Kanto to Holland. But obviously, they being Ash and Pikachu, his best friend Pikachu, which is a Pokemon, by the way, one of the most iconic Pokemon of all time, they basically went ahead and went aboard the ferry, and once we get into the second era, which is the Advanced Generation era, which spanned 4 seasons. Pokemon Advanced, which started season 6. Then we have Advanced Generation, which is season 7. Then we have Advanced Battle, which is season 8. And Battle Frontier, which is season 9. During this era, Ash sets off on his journey into the Holland region, meets a brother and sister named May and Max, and the return of Brock as well during the Advanced era, or the advanced series. The advanced series, they reunite again, and we have now a 4-person group with obviously Ash, May, Max, and Brock. And they set off on the journey through Holland with the 4 of them together in order to go ahead and for Ash, take on the entire 8 gym leaders again in Holland, and to go ahead and become champion again by competing in the Evergrande Holland League Championships at the Evergrande Stadium in Evergrande City. And then basically Ash lost that league as well, with his defeat at the hands of Tyson in the second to last episode of the Holland League arc, wherein Ash lost to Tyson in the last round of the Holland League Championships, and that's wherein Advanced Battle ended. Season 8 ended, and that's where as well. By the way, seasons 1 to 8 were all dubbed by 4Kids, were all done by 4Kids, now known as Konami Cross Media New York. All 8 seasons of the original Pokemon anime were all dubbed by 4Kids, starting from Indigo League and ended with Advanced Battle. Battle Frontier was the first series wherein it was a whole new cast of characters, and that spanned up until Diamond and Pearl, the Diamond and Pearl era, which contains Diamond and Pearl Season 10, Diamond and Pearl Battle Dimension, which is Season 11, Diamond and Pearl Galactic Battles, which comprised Season 12, and Diamond and Pearl Sinnoh League Victors, which comprised Season 13. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of seasons for a Pokemon show to take place. But Battle Frontier, actually, the Battle Frontier was conceptualized first in Advanced Battle Season 8. But it didn't kick into high gear up until the release of Battle Frontier. But it all started in Advanced Battle, wherein Ash took on Noland, the head of the Battle Factory, and defeated him to earn the knowledge symbol, which, by the way, the concept of the Battle Frontier is as follows. The Battle Frontier is basically a much harder league competition, wherein you are taking on 7 of the most powerful people in Kanto. So basically, we're going back to Kanto for this one, for the adventure of the Battle Frontier, wherein you are taking on 7 different battle facilities spread out throughout the Kanto region, and your goal is to defeat them all and become the master and or the champion of said Battle Frontier. And so, during Season 8, Advanced Battle, Ash took on Noland and defeated him with his trusty Charizard, taking down Noland's legendary Articuno, which is a very, very good duel, a very good battle. If I do say so myself, Charizard vs Articuno is a clash of the Titans. Actually, a clash of Generation 1 Pokemon, if I had to guess. Or if I had to pinpoint it down, Charizard versus Articuno was actually a pretty good battle, if I do say so myself. It is a very good battle to begin the Battle Frontier era. We saw also May winning her first contest of the Battle Frontier era in Advanced Battle, wherein she defeated Harley in the finals of the Saffron City Pokemon contest, which was very nice. And that's where Advanced Battle ended. And then Battle Frontier happened, Season 9, wherein it was a whole new cast of voices for the series, starting with Sarah Natasheni replacing Veronica Taylor as Ash, as well as with May being replaced from Veronica Taylor to Sarah Natasheni, and Bill Rogers replacing Eric Stewart as the voice of Brock, among many others. Michelle Notes replacing the recently died Rachel Lillis as the voice actress of Misty or Jessie. Rest in peace, Miss Lillis. Then we have James Carter Cathcart replacing Eric Stewart as the voices of James and Meowth. As well, Meowth was replaced in voice acting by Carter Cathcart from Miss Maddie Blostein. Rest in peace to her. She also died. Oof. And then that's where it ended. Battle Frontier started with the continuation of their quest to not only pursue, become champion of the Battle Frontier, but also to succeed for May, at least, in the Pokemon contests. And by the end of Battle Frontier, Ash defeated the Pyramid King Brandon. Yes, you heard me right. Ash defeated Brandon in one of the most epic 4-on-4 rematch duels, battles, whatever the hell you wanna call it, of probably the entire series, wherein Ash defeated Brandon with his trusty Pikachu against Brandon's powerful Reggies. The first battle ended in a no result because Ash was possessed, and Ash battled Brandon the first time with Sceptile, I believe. Yes, Ash battled Brandon with Sceptile as Brandon used his own Reggie Rock, to take on Sceptile. The battle ended in a no result because Ash got possessed, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong here, chat, and in the comments as well. The second time around, Ash used Torkoal. Against Brandon's Registeel, and Ash lost that one, and that led to Ash suffering a depression arc wherein he had to basically bathe in hot springs at the Fennel Valley Pokemon Center, wherein as well May is also suffering because she lost the Grand Festival to Soledad, and she is also struggling as well during the episode The Unbeatable Likeness of Seeing. And Ash, with the help of his original Kanto team, wherein it consists of Charizard, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Pikachu, defeated Brandon's Pokemon of Reggies, Ninjask, Solrock, and Dusclops. A very good selection, if I do say so myself. And obviously Ash defeated Brandon in a very good duel, very good battle, and Ash became master of the Battle Frontier. But instead of taking the position of becoming similar in strength to the other frontier brains Ash defeated, Ash decided, nah, I want to continue. I want to explore the world some more. And the one that the Battle Frontier agent Scott agreed to him, and that's where the series ends. We get a final contest battle between Ash and May, between Sectile and May's Combustion, which evolved into Blaziken, which was a very good battle. It ended in a tie, wherein Ash essentially cut the ribbon in half with May, basically shared the victory with her. She threw the ribbon up into the air and let Sectile use Leaf Blade on the ribbon to go ahead and cut it in half, essentially, and they both got themselves the terracotta medal, which in this case is a ribbon. Yo, I love that. I love the nod. I love the nod to that, which was also revisited in the next era, which we are going to call the Diamond and Pearl era, which consists of Diamond and Pearl Battle Dimension, Diamond and Pearl Galactic Battles, and Diamond and Pearl Sinnoh League Victors. And obviously, after their adventures in Kanto during Battle Frontier, Ash decided to go ahead and travel to the Sinnoh region, because Gary, his rival, returned to the series back in the Battle Frontier and battled Ash with Electivire against Ash's Pikachu. The match was cut short because of Team Rocket's interference. And yeah, it's decided that Ash wants to go ahead and go to Sinnoh. And so they went to the Sinnoh region. Excuse me. Yeah, I like that series a lot. If I do say so myself. Gotta love it. And next up, we have obviously the Diamond and Pearl era, which, as I have stated multiple times in this stream and in this video alone, consists of seasons 10, 11, 12, and 13. And I must say, this era was so good. You had the rivalry between Ash and Paul. By the way, Paul's voice actor, Julian Reboledo, is absolutely phenomenal in voice acting Paul, which at first started out as a major pain in the dick, a major pain in the ass for Ash, but over time, he learned to adapt, he learned to follow his Pokemon and not rely on strength alone, which is very good character development over the course of this 1, 2, 3, 4 series span, wherein Paul was defeated by Ash during the finale of Sinnoh League Victors, which I believe is the true finale of the series, or true finale of the Sinnoh League in my opinion, before Ash get absolutely destroyed by Tobias, which is very BS in my opinion, but I digress. Yeah, so I like the Diamond and Pearl era a lot. I put it in the same zenith, the same apex as the original era, due to the fact that the story is riveting. The story is compelling in the Diamond and Pearl era. Then we move to the Black and White era. Oh boy. People gave this era a lot of shit, a lot of flack, but let me tell you guys something. I actually think that the Black and White era, which comprised of Season 14, Black and White Rival Destinies, and Black and White Adventures in Unova and Beyond, were actually great series. Were actually great series, in my opinion. Even though, yes, Ash kind of regressed in a sense, it is still very good for Ash's character development, because the Black and White era proved that Ash was a flawed trainer. Yes, the Advanced Generation and Diamond and Pearl eras were great. The Black and White era, in my humble opinion, is a little bit basically it's a reset button for Ash to get good again, because this series taught him a lot. And I cannot blame the writers for actually regressing Ash, because in my humble opinion anyways, they needed Ash to regress. They needed Ash to basically tell them, yo, Satoshi or Ash, you need to knock it down a peg so that you will be able to go ahead and what do you call that? You need to go ahead and mature up. You need to go ahead and start all over again in a new region. Which obviously the region is Unova. We have the return of Cynthia in this show, or in this series. Oh boy, that was a great one. We had the Unova League in Vertres City, which was very nice. Yes, Ash lost again, which is a bit of a letdown, but alas, it happened. And yeah, Adventures in Unova and Beyond is an extension of Black and White Adventures in Unova, wherein after the Unova League, they set sail for the Kanto region again with Iris and Silent. By the way, Iris and Silent were very good characters. Iris and Silent, voiced by Eileen Stevens and Mike Alicio, respectively. Well, or should say, Jason Griffith, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me for that, sorry for that. They were great. They were great characters. They were great, protagonists. They were great companions for our main protagonist, Ash. And this is actually the second series since the original era, wherein we got introduced to a gym leader, and then said gym leader joined the gang. First was Brock during the original era, which concluded his journey, or his role as a companion for Ash during Diamond and Pearl, the Diamond and Pearl era, or after the Diamond and Pearl series ended. It is this is Silent's second or this is the series' second time wherein a gym leader, after they were defeated by the main protagonist, they decided to join the group. They decided to join the gang, basically. And that's why Silent joined up with Ash during the Black and White series. A very good series, in my opinion. All of these series right here were very good. Were very nice. Alright, let's continue on with into the Mega Evolution era, which includes X and Y, which after the Virtuous City Unova League Conference in Unova, Ash decided to go ahead and move over to Kalos with Alexa. Alexa, for those who don't know, debuted in the Black and White series. And she basically told Ash that after this is over, visit Kalos. And that's what our hero did, wherein the Mega Evolution era started, which comprised of X and Y, which comprised Season 17. Wow, that's a lot. XY Kalos Quest, which is Season 18, and XYZ, which is Season 19. The Mega Evolution era obviously debuted Mega Evolution, which is a temporary evolution of a Pokemon, wherein they become more stronger, and this was something that was expanded upon during the Mega Evolution specials that took place during this era, during X and Y, wherein they showed off the Mega Evolutions for the series, which is very nice in my opinion. And yeah, the final league battle of the series shows Ash taking on Alon, and Ash lost again, which is a bit troublesome. But after that, the whole region of Kalos suddenly went and turned to darkness, wherein Lysander were basically the tyrants of this series, and they basically plunged the world into darkness with his band of thugs, Team Flare. And yeah, after what happened with the Mega Evolution era, the writers decided, hey, let's chill it down a bit. And that's why we got the Sun and Moon era. Sun and Moon Ultra Quest, and Sun and Moon Ultra Adventures. That is the timeline of events during the Sun and Moon era, which had the return of Brock and Misty in the series, which is absolutely hilarious if I do say so myself. What? I am in awe. Bro, I am in awe of what just happened. Like, Sun and Moon was the first series wherein Ash finally won a league. He won the Alola League, taking down Gradion, the series' main rival, and he is proclaimed Alola League champion, which is a very nice accomplishment for him. I'm so proud of him for actually winning a league for once. And that's why I like this series so much, the Sun and Moon era. That's why I like this series so much. It's because it finally showed that Ash can actually win something, and win in a convincing way, wherein Ash won just by countering the counter, which is insane, in my humble opinion. Then after that, it was time to head into the Journeys era. Obviously, it spanned Pokemon Journeys, Pokemon Ultimate Journeys, and Pokemon Master Journeys, which coincided with To Be a Pokemon Master, which is a mini-series after the Masters 8 tournament held during the Journeys anime. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so the Journeys era. I like the Journeys era. If I do say so myself, the Journeys era was an era wherein Ash traveled throughout the regions, and more specifically, he met Iris again. He met Drayden again. Drayden is the gym leader of Opelucid City. In the Univore region, we saw him during Black and White, during the Black and White era, and he returned again in Pokemon Journeys, which is very nice of the writers to do. And yeah, I like the series a lot because of that. We had the return of Lance, we had the return of Cynthia, we had the return of Diantha, which is the champion, which are the champions of Sinnoh and Kalos respectively. Lance is the champion of Kanto and Johto. That was great, and yeah, it was a really good series because of that, because it brought back a lot of legacy characters. And during to be a Pokemon Master, Ash reunited with Brock and Misty, which was a great ode to the original series, and it was also the return of Silent as well, which was a great homage to the to Black and White as well, which is very nice. And then finally we have the most recent series, Pokemon Horizons, which from the little clips that I saw were actually pretty good. Were actually a pretty decent series, even though Ash is no longer the protagonist, which is a shame, but alas, it happened. And yeah, Pokemon Horizons was such a great series. Let's be dead ass honest here. Pokemon Horizons was just a great series. And now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and discuss what made Pokemon, the series, so good. First of which is going to different regions feels unique and fresh, and that's exactly what happened. When you go to a different region, you experience something new, experience new challenges, and you're along for the ride along with Ash and the gang and the crew, and you are basically re-experiencing the journey all over again, which is huge, and especially it is especially refreshing during the era of journeys. During the journeys era, which spanned Pokemon Journeys, Pokemon Ultimate Journeys, and Pokemon Master Journeys, including to be a Pokemon Master, we get to see a lot of different people. We get to see a lot of different Pokemon. We get a lot of good backstories. We get a lot of new heroes, new rivals, new side characters, among many others, which is very nice. That is what made the Pokemon series so good. Like, even though yes, Pokemon Horizons only takes place in Paldea as of the making of the series, it is still a pretty fresh region, in my humble opinion. And that's essentially what made Pokemon the series so good. Next is, obviously, because of Ash, the number one protagonist ever in the series. Which kind of blows because Ash was such an integral part of the Pokemon anime, and now he's gone. That one is a real punch to the gut, but I can accept that. The third is different regions equates to different rivals and different strong trainers. What did I say? What did I say? What did I say earlier? God, that's why I like this series. That's why I like the series so much, because you go to different regions and get to experience different strong trainers. Like, obviously, we returned to to Geneva, and we saw Iris again. We get to see Steven in Pokemon X and Y, which, for the record, Steven is from Hoenn, and he helped our heroes in containing and defeating Lysander and controlling Zygarde as well, which is huge. The fourth is we got hilarious banter between the main crew for each show. What can I say? The banter and the jokes that they made were absolutely hilarious. I can't stop laughing at some of it, and the animation as well. It was peak. It was peak, in my humble opinion. So that's number 4. Number 5 is obviously Team Rocket. Jesse, James, Meowth, and Lava Fett as well. Team Rocket is both hilarious for the most part and serious when they want to. The phrase serious when they want to is a reference to what they did during Black and White. During Black and White, they transitioned from being a goofy team to a more serious team during the first 2 seasons. Seasons 14 and 15, they were serious AF. Upon entering season 16, they went back to their hilarity, their hilarious ways. That's what made Team Rocket such an iconic evil team. That's what made Team Rocket such an iconic group. They were not technically evil per se, but they are they can be a devious bunch if they wanted to. They opposed Ash a lot during Black and White, but during the other seasons, they stumbled upon here and there, but they felt more like heroes than anything else, which is great character development. We have, for the 6th one, we got superb voice acting for every series. Obviously, I talked about it earlier. We got cast like Veronica Taylor, who voiced Ash during the first 8 seasons of the series. You got Eric Stewart, who voiced Brock in the first 8 seasons as well. Sarah Napocieni, which began her voice acting during season 9 up until the last season, season 25, Pokemon Ultimate Journeys, and to be a Pokemon Master, among many other invaluable talent. Superb voice acting. That's something that I like in every iteration of the Pokemon series. And we got number 7, intense battles and gut-wrenching moments. I remember one of the most gut-wrenching moments I had to rewatch again was Jesse and James releasing Arbok and Weezing when they were threatened to be captured by the Pokemon Hunter or poacher. That was gut-wrenching in and of itself. And then the 8th one is the big one. Best theme songs ever created. Gets you pumping and following the lyrics word for word. From I wanna be the very best that no one ever was, to stuff like we will be heroes, we can change the world if we try. God, I love those songs so much. It gets you pumping and it makes you want to relive those moments again. Even if it's in a watching sense, you know what I mean. The lyrics and the theme songs were actually so good. Like, you had to be there. You had to watch it again and again and again just so you can understand the gravity of the series, the gravitas, the biggest gravitas of the series. Very good. That's a very, very good very good bullet point that I did here. And finally, what do I think about the show, the series? It's such a good series. End of story. I love Pokemon so much. So that's why, and that's what made Pokemon so good. It is such a good series. Highly recommend for you all to watch and or re-watch if you want to watch the OG series. End of story. And so, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, don't hesitate to drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Link is here on the screen, but I'll leave the link in the description down below. And also, if you want to support the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. That is the link. I'll leave that link in the description down below. So that's all I have for now. So until next time, Storyfuel Squad, this is Senor Alex Fuel saying goodbye, mwah, and good night, gang. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.